Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night. Welcome, my lovely audience, to the fifth installment of Servant Guests. And we're back with Rule once again.
Hello, I'm glad to be back. I'm excited to see what servants what servants are going to make an appearance.
Yes, well, it has been over a year since the last time we've done one of these, actually. Or at least one
Dang.
with Rule specifically. And so there's a whole bunch of new ones, especially with the release of Lostbelt 6 and all that fun jazz. So we're just going to leap right into it. Here we go. Here is the current list. We have 30 potential servants, 5 of them being false leads, for a total of 25 servants that you will actually be guessing from. Is there any of these that you have any particular questions about, or are you ready to just leap right into it?
I'm glancing through. I did some background research. I think the funniest one, but I do think it's not going to be a false lead, is red hair. Because I looked up red hair and it was just a horse. It was just a red horse. I'm just like, oh, okay.
Yes, the greatest and most famous horse to ever live in China, at least.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna. If it's a red horse, I think that's just gonna be a really easy one. It's just gonna be a horse and it's gonna be red. It's gonna probably have like some kind of flag on it.
Okay, well, we'll just leap right into it then.
Okay, starting strong. I like the aesthetic here. Everything swirls in like a really nice pattern. Like it lets your eyes follow it up. Except the boobs are very, very prominent. They're like they're like almost out of place level prominent.
Well, that's right as art for you.
I suppose that's true. Let's see here. Okay, we got some more Asian aesthetic here. A little bit more flowy. Glasses, so that may be a scholar. But that hair, I said, no, it's not red enough. But that hair does look like horse ears. So, if this is red hair, I'm mad. But let me see. So female, but that doesn't really narrow it down because they have that gender bend thing that they like to do here. I think this may be though what was her name? Murasaki Shibuki, the author of Tale of Genji. It just gives me kind of like, oh, she's smart, glasses, could be a writer, prominent figure, and a lot of Asian aesthetic here.
All right, you are correct. It is Murasaki Shikibu.
Nice.
I realized I spelled that wrong up at the top, but yes, and these are like her four art forms.
Let me see. Oh, I like how just the difference between the first and second one is just she gains glasses, and maybe just like a robe. Hot take. I think out of all of these, I like the third one the most. Maybe it's because it's like the huge hazonkers are not just like like carrying all the sight. There's an aesthetic pleasure to it. But as far as like horny fake art goes, she's really not bad.
Yeah, Raida is known for his exaggerated proportions in many scenarios, but he's also probably one of Fate's best artists, in my opinion, as a whole, especially when he gets to some of the other characters, in my opinion.
I will say the art is really nice. I do like that fourth image. It's got good composition. I like the colors. I'm a very big color guy, so this one hits it.
Okay, well, moving on.
Ooh, okay. Cocky smile, got that tunic thing going, big robot arm, and we got some hallowed halls. Now, initially this screams to me Arthurian, some kind of King Arthur type figure. Let's see. But which one is it? Could be there's a mix up because it could be Percival. Percival was looking for the Holy Grail, but at the same time, Galahad, son of Lancelot, was also looking for the Holy Grail. So this between those two, I don't think it's King Arthur. King Arthur would have a lot more pompousness, a lot more like, "Yo, dude, that's King Arthur." I don't think it's Roland or Charlemagne because they're too Roman, nor Constantine. So I'm gonna just throw my hat in and say that's Galahad.
This is Hector, hero of the
No, that's
Trojan War.
what are you talking about? This does not scream Hector. The best of the Trojans?
He's a
No
tired
way.
old man who's just worn from the massive siege.
That is not the vibe. That is not the vibe I get from Hector. This is the man that's dragged by a chariot after being like murdered. I guess a spear should have taken it away. If it was a knight, they'd have a sword. But like he gave me too much like British military.
All right.
I like his design. He is a very practical warrior though.
Hector is cool. Next.
Okay. Ooh, this one's gonna be an interesting one. Very heavily scarred, lots of big weapons, bit of a cocky smile. Now, Fate has this thing of whitewashing characters. So this could be Arjuna, the Hindu hero, the one that had a lot of those divine weapons. But I figured that Arjuna has a big bow. That's always the kind of vibe I get. I don't think he's Romulus. Like I said, I feel like that would be more pompous.
Okay.
But he could be Arthurian. He has that blonde hair thing going on. I don't think he's Jock. This one's a hard one. There's a lot of them that he could be. It could be Beowulf too. Damn.
Yeah, he's really just kind of the generic warrior dude.
He is very much just like, yeah, I'm General Foot Soldier Man. Okay, it's not gonna be Beowulf because I think Beowulf would be one of those big beefy types in the Fate canon. I'm gonna go with a gut feeling and say I was gonna say Arjuna, but I'm gonna retract that. I'm gonna say that could be Percival.
Is that your final answer?
Yes, it's not a great one, but
He's
Beowulf. It's hard. No way he's Beowulf. Shit, I knew it. I had the hint of bead there. Oh, and I like his design. I like the scarring and everything. I think he was Nordic, so the blonde hair wasn't far off. I was just getting psyched out by the weapons.
He honestly doesn't show up a whole lot in what role. I think he only ever had like a single big role. No, not even a big role, like a single role, and it didn't really play much, so most people forget he exists, including me, honestly.
Well, I mean, his design is very generic white blonde man who's also muscular. So it's hard to like beat him down for anything consistently. I should have known with the forest and like the kind of cave like surroundings because that does seem more to the legend, given how he like popped off the like wrestled with Grendel and then fought the dragon and everything.
Yeah.
So, oh god.
All right, moving on.
Let's see. Hold on. My screen is glitching.
Oh,
there it goes. All right. Okay. So I feel like outfit wise, if they just close like the boob window, it would be acceptable. But that boob window that just makes it like, okay, come on, dude.
I will tell you right now, this is probably one of the most contentious characters in recent Fate.
Okay, big tower. It's a little teddy bear thing on the right, like a sheep teddy bear thing. Big sword, has the hands, tower. God, this one's gonna be. I can feel my blood begin to boil. I know this one's gonna be like a. Okay, it could be Charlotte Corday. She assassinated that dude in the bathtub. But she doesn't give me like assassin vibe. I feel like she'd have daggers or something like that. And that sword's just way too big. God, it could be Galatea, but I don't know. Galatea was like so beautiful. She came to life because of Aphrodite. Jacques de Molay. That does give me a little bit of French vibe, but like the last Grand Templar, I feel would be more in Crusader outfit, not in like a secretary pencil skirt with a sword on her hip. Mary Anning, maybe, but there's no paleontology. There's
Hmm.
nothing that like. Mm,
Yeah, this is going to be a hard one.
let's see. As long as it's not Don Quixote, 'cause it's like, oh man. Um. Hmm. Ooh, this one doesn't have any good ones. You got me a hard roster this time around.
Yeah.
I could like sense the other times, but this time around I'm just like,
I
oh.
mean, I started out with a few harder ones. I think there's some easier ones around the middle.
Hmm. The only one that would make it's not Morgan Le Fay either. There's not enough like magic. Um, I'm split between Charlotte Corday and Jacques de Molay. I'm gonna go with Jacques de Molay. I feel like that one's just my heart's saying Charlotte, but I know logically
Y-
all fake characters make no sense.
Okay, okay, you are correct. But
Oh,
here's why this character is so contentious. Okay, and I have ranted about this on stream before. We have a
okay.
male version of Jacques de Molay.
What do you mean you have a male version of Jacques de Molay?
So there's the mobile game, right? Fate Grand Order.
Mm-hmm.
In Japan, there's also a Fate Grand Order arcade. In our arcade, Jacques de Molay is an actual Templar, male, like the historic dude. But when they
Naturally,
added
yeah.
him to Fate Grand Order, for some reason, they decided we're going to take this Templar. We're going to do the alternate angle that instead of being a Christian, he was actually a like devil worshiper, and this was him being corrupted by a Lovecraftian god, and we get this instead.
This I will say this is I would be infuriated too because like
Yeah, I have.
it's all
This is the
sorry.
guaranteed way to get me ranting on stream. I have genuinely lost levels playing a game because I get distracted ranting about this. Because
Oh god, I mean
it's not just that we have her. It's that we have this, and we know for a fact that we have the male. He exists. They just didn't add him into the game.
you know what it's also objectively hilarious given like the history of Jacques de Molay. His entire bit was that his commitment to the church is what got him killed. So having it be like, oh yeah, he's not actually committed to the church. He's actually a satanic worshiper, and it's 100% so they can just make him a girl and show off like horny assets.
Mm-hmm.
I will say I did call it the boo boo knows too much, and then her first one has it like covered. I'm
Mm-hmm.
I'm an empath. I can
Yeah,
sense it.
because this is like I can't say the name of the actual Lovecraftian god because there's a specific one. I can't say it because of name and well, we all know how Lovecraft enjoyed his naming schemes.
Mm.
But the one that Jacques contracted to here is the mother of all young, and
The
so
mother of
that's why he got gender bent.
God. What is holding up that piece of fabric? I just realized she doesn't have any shoulder thing. It's like glued to her. Oh goodness me! It's just like hey, let's put some crazy glue because we're not all, and it follows. Oh goodness me!
Eldritch energy
Yeah, I
says,
got corrupted, and that gives me clothes manipulation. That's why it's happening.
mhm. But yeah.
Goodness me.
Anyways, we're gonna move on from this travesty now.
I went with my gut. I know fake characters are okay. This is the one where I feel like I couldn't research much about because it's just like this is that ninja one. This is the what is the name? What is the name? Fuma Kataru.
Yeah,
He's a ninja. I mean, there's not yeah.
yeah. I mean, this one was a gimme.
Yeah. Not much to be said. He has pretty good ninja drip, especially that third photo. I like the white that embellishes. Um, he's got some really flowy pants, which I don't like in ninja outfits generally, because they just kind of look like balloons. But they're a lot better in the fourth picture. But overall, I think it's a good design.
Yeah, he's pretty solid.
Okay.
Next.
Okay. So this is gonna be something. So big cross already giving us some holy figure. But you can't have a holy figure without uber sexualizing them. Because that big like midriff dip that leads to like the thigh cutoffs. Um, Goodness me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I'm Catholic, and you have context for things when you grow up that way.
Yep.
So in my heart, I feel like, and this is like a weird thing because if I get it wrong, then it's just like what made the connection. Saint Martha is a potentially good choice here because like it could be she saw Lazarus get resurrected by Jesus. She was devout, but it's also fate. It could be a gender bend. But there's too much like religious imagery for it to not be anyone but like Saint Martha, unless it's like it could be Constantine because he had that whole religious thing going on, trying to unite churches. I'm gonna say Saint Martha.
It is in fact Saint Martha,
That is
and Saint Martha's noble phantasm is the Tarrasque.
the fate has gone too far. I like how they're like, yo, this holy lady is not sexy enough. Let's take away like her pants in the third one. Like, sheesh, give me a break.
Actually, so there's also a swimsuit version of her.
No, come on.
And actually, she's really beloved by the fans because of the fact that she punches. She's known as the Punch Saint.
The Punch Saint?
The Punch Saint. Holy martial arts.
No, you gotta stop. You can't tell me these things.
I absolutely can, and I will.
God, every day I think, there's certain limits fate won't cross. But then they go ahead and be like, oh, religion, rubify it. Oh God.
Okay. Well, moving on.
Ooh, favorite one. 100%. This is the best one so far. Look at the drip. White and the color embellishments. Big bow. Oh, the back, kind of black crescent moon. Dark skin. Actual dark skin. Fate very rarely goes with like dark skin. They usually do like a light brown or anything. Dark hair. No question, Arjuna. This is gonna be the Hindu hero.
This is in fact Arjuna.
Hell yeah. Oh God, I love that. This is, of all the like guest servants so far, I think this is one of my favorites so far. Purely because it's just like they committed to like darker skin, and he's so dripped out. Oh, that last one, he's like reclining on the throne. 100% great, love it. And I knew it was gonna be a bow.
Mm-hmm. He is in fact an archer, and one of the few archers that actually uses a bow.
Sheesh, he is dripped. Love it.
Mm-hmm. Who dis?
Oh, I wonder. He's a big beefy dude in like metal BDSM gear in a Colosseum shaped area, and one of the ones listed was Spartacus. Who could this be but Spartacus?
You are correct. It is Spartacus. And I love his official description, or the first line of his official description, because it is quite literally, that dude was all muscle. Nothing else.
I like the third one purely because he looks so much goofier with his helmet and shoulder blades on. They look like they wouldn't fit him. They look like they're a part of a different set of outfit.
Mm-hmm. Spartacus he's great.
Try doing the like I am Spartacus bit with this man. It's like, I'm Spartacus, and it's some like modelly built dude, and all like the guards look over to this like very, very big, beefy, obviously Spartacus person. We're like, you're not Spartacus. We know this man is built. He's got main character energy.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's great. He doesn't get a whole lot of scenes, but the one scene that he does like really get to shine is when so his whole thing is rebellion, right?
Of course.
But that's like ingrained into him. And so in one of the Lost Belts, you have to help overthrow China. And
Hell yeah.
so um the emperor sends like a full-blown, because he's like become a god emperor sort of thing, and so he's like sends a meteor
Mm.
to wipe out the town that you're in. And so
As
you get to give him one, and so Spartacus asks you to give him one command: jump. And
jump.
he proceeds to rebel against gravity and just destroy the meteor all by himself.
Rebel against grace. I don't think that's the spirit of it.
All things
I
can be
refuse.
rebelled against. He is a
I
berserker, so like his sanity isn't quite there.
Yeah, I mean, I can tell. He looks like he would be fit right in like at a like a lucha libre.
But yeah, he's great. Buddhist.
Okay, so another big spear holder, kind of mecha-esque, and there's like a castle in the background. A lot of whites, a little bit of gold, and the white hair. Now, my first reaction was this could be King Arthur. Um,
Mm-hmm.
there's a castle, there's kind of imagery, but the spear, you can't give King Arthur, the wielder of Excalibur, a spear.
I
So
mean,
it's
King
not going to
Arthur did
be.
have a spear, and the spear
Yeah, but
has a
like,
name.
does it?
Yeah,
I only
wrong
know the
Miniad.
Excalibur. Huh. I'm a fake King Arthur fan. But I'm not going to say King Arthur because I do think he's more known for his sword than his spear. Which makes this difficult. It's not Ares. Um, it could be Roland or potentially Charlemagne. Or Constantine.
Also, I feel like I should specify because I did put it in there. The Constantine we're talking about isn't the one that made the Roman Empire Christian. It's the one that was the last ruler of the Byzantine Empire.
Yeah, that's what I have in my notes.
I just wanted to make sure.
Hmm. It's either going to be Charlemagne or Constantine. That's where I'm kind of sitting at. I think I'm going to say Charlemagne.
It's Percival.
No, come on! After all this time, I can't believe it. Like I'm throwing myself off. Like I can feel it because I know that like there's this fear with like the guest to servants thing that I've
Mm-hmm.
had for like since the beginning where I'm like, oh, it's this character. And then I feel like it becomes a running gag throughout the video that I'm always going to be like, oh, this is this character now. Nope. This is this character now. Nope. This is this character now. No. And now when it's the character, I never get it. That happened with that other one. I can't remember the
Gawain.
name, but yeah, the Gawain one. I'm getting caught in that like I can't say it too many times.
Hmm.
But God, Percival.
Yeah, this is the. But yeah, on the topic of the King Arthur thing, Fate actually one of the female Arthurs. We actually have two of them that use
Ugh.
wrong Miniad.
I like I said, I never even knew he had like a spear.
Well, it's a lance technically, not a spear, but anyways, moving on.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
Wow. All right.
yeah,
Let's take a step.
yeah.
I know I know this is an audio format, so I'm gonna narrate the finger pinch on my nose I'm doing in in aggravation. All right, this is the worst case of Orientalism. Oh my God, when you think, oh, I wonder why the word exotic is so like controversial. Oh my God, I wonder who could this be? Several scrolls with a bunch of stories. Also, very very sexualized. Also, can I? She's doing the equivalent of like saggy jeans with a skirt there. What is that supposed to cover? That thing is going all the way down. The only thing that's actually covering anything decent is from like her shirt, her like barely excuse of a shirt. Oh yeah, yeah. And what? there's no straps that go around. How is that sticking onto her? Is her arm just still gripping that against her like belly or something? This is pardon me, Scheherazade, the 1001 Nights lady.
Yes.
Oh boy, we get alts. God, they got the dark skin, but at what cost? The second one's way worse, and the third one, I'm not the second one. The third one's way worse. Okay, objectively speaking, terrible design. But I guess if you're like going for horny design, like 10 out of 10. Congrats.
Mm-hmm. Honestly, out of the four, the fourth is the best, in my opinion, because it actually,
agree.
yeah.
The fourth one is set up in a way that is like, it's not like clearly a thing. I mean, the fourth ones tend to be the better ones on like revealing characters because it gives it a little bit more personality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because the fourth ones are personalized, while the first three are character arcs with differentiation.
Mm-hmm.
Anyways, moving on.
Okay, so this one gives more Roman imagery, especially with like the kind of Greek architecture in the background.
Mm-hmm.
I like his outfit. It's very practical armor. I like his shoulder tassels. Not a lot of people can pull out shoulder tassels like that, but he kind of makes it work. Like the long flowing hair. This dude's handsome. I will say this dude's got some good look to him. Now, who is he? Is the question. This could be Ares. I feel like Ares would be more bloodthirsty and everything, but it could be Ares. Okay. Oh no, but he's too handsome. Because Chiron's also on the list. Chiron's a horse. I would think you would add a horse. But maybe they're just like, yeah, we're just going to forget the horse bit. Because he looks wise and kindly. Chiron's kind of wise and kindly. I'm going to say Chiron. This is giving me very big, like, he has a bow.
Okay, so it is Chiron, and specifically, he does have two forms where you do see the legs, but he can disguise himself he can disguise himself as a person. And I didn't want to give it away instantly by showing the centaur bit.
No, yeah. That was a good bit, because if I didn't think about it, I may have said Ares, and that would have been like a cringe fail on my part.
Yes, don't worry. Fate didn't forget that he's a centaur. They just gave him the ability to disguise himself.
That's convenient. I understand the practicality of that. I actually really like this design of Chiron. There are some like Chiron designs I don't vibe with, but this one's actually pretty solid. You know, they make him a little bit more youthful, but they commit to the long hair, and they have very good like horse clothing because like the way it flares out, I feel like that's something a centaur would wear.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, moving on.
Oh, I wonder who this weirdly lurking, smiling woman is in a dark corridor with potentially a dead person following her. It's not like there's a French assassin who killed somebody in a bathtub with like a butcher knife that this person is also conveniently holding. But I do vibe with the outfit. Again, it's doing that Fate thing where like it completely hugs the boob curves. Mm-hmm. But it's not as prominent as others. I like the bow. The bow is really cute, and then the kind of puffed out sleeves. I know that that's also a really cute aesthetic. This is like cute in a way. There's a little bit of sexiness that they're trying to imply here. But if you were to like put your finger over like the boob area and cover it, I'd be like, oh, this is a cute, wholesome person who's going to assassinate somebody because they're Charlotte Corday.
Yes, they are. And first off, I absolutely love Charlotte Corday. She is part of my favorite group in the entire game, which is the Neo-Argonauts, but I can talk about that later. But as for the boob thing, it is historical that the way she got the knife in was she smuggled it under like her chest area.
Okay, forgivable. If there's real life historical precedent that she had honkers enough to hide a whole knife in, I'll forgive Fate for this one.
Mm-hmm.
I do like the unhingedness of the third one with like all the blood and everything. Also, you know, at a certain point, I know the dude had a skin disease, but at a certain point, how much of it is his fault for being like, you have an important meeting thing, you want to talk to me? Talk to me in the bathtub. I mean, you're defenseless.
Mm-hmm.
I think I really like her fourth image. I do like the like,
Yep,
yo,
her
I did
waiting.
it.
Yeah,
I
her
mean,
waiting for her execution.
very solid design. I like this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, she's great. All right, now
Oh,
which
this
one is
dude.
this?
Wow, this dude is putting his all into it. Like this dude like was like, "Oh, you can take my picture? Hold on a second," and then set it all up.
Mm-hmm.
Big golden armor, the kind of Halo-esque figure, darker skin, red eyes, dark hair. Now this one is hard
Mm-hmm.
because there are still a couple of very prominent emperors, rulers, and gods. Like it's not Ares because that is clearly meant to be like a halo imagery behind his head. But now, who would garner a halo is a question. Hmm. I don't think King. It's not King Arthur. It's not. It could be Ares. It could, but I don't. I don't vibe with Ares on this one. Um. Maybe Rama, but again, I don't think. I don't think they'd give a halo imagery for Rama, and Rama would have multiple arms. At least in my mind, it would. So it's either going to be Charlemagne or Constantine.
Oh,
Or it could be Romulus. We have 3 emperors on this list.
yep.
I think the thing that's throwing me off is that it's very like Christian imagery all around. If it wasn't the Christian imagery, I'd be like, this is Romulus, 100%. But there's not enough Greek here to say it's Romulus. So, is he the last ruler of the Byzantine Empire in Constantine, or is he the establisher in Charlemagne? I'm gonna say he's Charlemagne. He seems strong enough to be Charlemagne.
He's Romulus.
Dunk.
So this is
this
is supposed to be. So we'd seen Romulus before because there's 2 Romulus in Fate. This one is Romulus post like becoming a deity from like all the worship of Rome.
You know, one of the things that psyched me out is because I was thinking of Caesar, wasn't I? Because like, wasn't there like a fake character that was really, really fat and he was like a ruler of Rome?
Yeah,
I think that was Caesar.
That was Caesar.
I got mixed up. I like his drip. Oh, okay. This may be controversial. I like the first image way more than the second and third. Like the gold wings and the gold armor. I mean, yeah, it's fancy. We get it. You're a ruler. The first one has such style. Like it is honestly really good stylized. Like the elbow long black gloves with the golden embellishments. The blue, showing off wealth with the blue dye and the red. This is a very good composition photo. I like the first image way more than the other 3.
But yeah, this guy is like Rome incarnate at this point. Like literally his ability is everything around me is Rome. If you are near me, you are Roman.
Well, when in Rome, do as the Romans do.
Everything is Roman around him. That is his ability. Now who this?
Oh, okay, this one. Okay. I gotta think about it because sometimes I can jump the gun, but I genuinely think this is King Arthur because I think there's also like a blonde person in Fate that is huge that looks very similar to this person, and I think that blonde person, it was a blonde female person, is King Arthur. But I think there's like 2 King Arthurs, so it could throw me off. Big sword. I'm going to go with my gut because there could be somebody else, but it's King Arthur to me.
This is indeed male King Arthur.
All right. I like his style actually. I like the short hair. He's very noble looking. Am I wrong that there's like a
hoodie?
A female King Arthur?
No, you are Saber. One of the original 7 servants is female King Arthur.
I think I know her because she's like the poster child of Fate.
Yes.
So like
The
that
main
one's very
one
recognizable.
of the main three heroines of the original Fate Stay Night.
Isn't she also the one that does like that powderu thing? Like,
No, that is Nero, who happens to share Arthur's face,
oh right.
Artoria's face.
Excuse me. How could I mistake two characters that show the same face?
They have different
I love that Fate
hairdos.
does that. I love that Fate does that. I love that Fate's like, we could design a new character, or we could just like slap a different hairstyle and say this is somebody else.
Also, bigger breasts.
Oh, of course. It's clearly it's Nero. If you just compare the sizes of the breast.
Well, one's clearly decadent, and the other's a noble knight. Anyways, but yeah, so originally Fate was going to be a game where the main character was a girl, and then you like had several male romance options, including Arthur Pendragon. But then they decided it would sell better if you had a male protagonist and romance several female characters.
Of course.
And so then they went from male Arthur to female Arthur, but then they brought male Arthur back.
Oh, good. He looks like a fine lad.
He is genuinely cool. Yes, he's also a dimension hopper.
That tracks. That tracks. I mean, the Lady of the Lake, the fairy tale things. His sister is Morgan Le Fay.
Mm-hmm.
He would be a dimension hopper.
All right, who dis?
Ooh. Okay. I kind of like this outfit. Actually, this outfit kind of goes hard. The tight black pants with the red embellishments. The kind of like practicality of like that kind of turtleneck into like sleevelessness. Big bow, I think, behind. Now, as much as I can like the outfit, then comes the question: who? No.
Yeah, who's wearing the outfit?
No. You can't. My heart just sunk because like I'm over here like this character is really dripped out. They're good. It's a lot of red. It's a lot of red. It's a lot of red. Could this be the horse?
I don't know. Is it the horse? You tell me.
I think it is the horse. Is it red hair?
It is Rama.
I don't know. Oh, thank God. I'm sad I got it wrong because I should have thought about it some more. But in my mind, I got so terrified because I was like, "No way they make the horse look this good." But then I was like, "It's also it's like a Japanese game company, so they would probably be very very more familiar with like Asian mythologies and stuff like that." So I was like, they would idolize a horse that much. But thank God it's Rama.
Yeah, we also have Rama's wife Sita in Arcade, which is a source of much contention because the whole thing is they have a curse of separation, and so like they can never actually get together again because of the way their myth ended. But people really want to get them together in like the same thing, and so people were really peeved when they announced that Sita was going to be arcade only, while Rama's only on mobile.
I gotta respect Fate a little bit. They're sticking to the guns on at least like the accuracy of the story. I'm sure it's not as great for the people who are playing the games, but I don't play or watch Fate much. So, and by much I mean at all.
Yeah,
so no problem for me.
Mm-hmm.
But I like the design. This design is really nice. Even the variants. This one's just overall solid. I like it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Rama's great. Anyways.
Pierre.
Yeah.
Pierre. I have limits. I have limits in my patience. And I do not appreciate this. But are you telling me this little person in the hands isn't even big enough for the sleeves? You're telling me that this is Captain Nemo, the man who goes in submarines, travels the world, and wants to like burn Britain down, and they're just white paste, small person with blue hair. Oh yeah.
It is indeed Captain Nemo.
I knew it was, and
they made
sad.
Captain Nemo well, actually, here's the interesting thing. So Captain Nemo is merged. They merged him with like one of Poseidon's children. I don't know which one. I can't remember off the top of my head. And
was it the Cyclops?
I think so, maybe. I don't know. But either
What
way,
was his name?
this is a boy. I want to clarify.
Okay.
And they did not gender bend Captain Nemo.
Oh, right. Makes everything forgivable. They didn't
No,
gender
yeah. I was going to say that, but then So the thing is, Captain Nemo can summon the Nautilus, right?
Yeah.
A submarine needs a crew, and
Sure.
so Captain Nemo has alternate persona. Like there's multiple Captain Nemo running around the Nautilus. Some of them
Great.
are other genders, and they all look semi-different. You have like the engineer, the doctor, the professor.
I think the only thing I'm really going with this design is I like the shell staff that he's having. But the idea of like 100 of these little things just running around a submarine is just making it's just like too much for me. I do not like this
Nemo is
design.
great. Nemo is great. I love him. He's the only reason the main character is alive.
Oh well, good for them.
Yeah, because
I don't know.
when the world got nuked, or not nuked, but obliterated by alien, they were able to flee into the imaginary ocean with Nemo's vessel.
Every word you say about fate just confuses me more.
Welcome to fate. Anyways,
Thank you.
We'll move on.
Okay, this dude has some drip. I like it switches between I don't know who this is to I don't like this design to this has a lot of drip. This video has been either a hit or a miss on the character design. But this one is really nice. I like the vest. I like the kind of ruffled the ruffled neck thing he's going on. A little bit of fur. Gives us some asymmetry. The cross is what's throwing me off a little bit though, but it looks like he's a captain. Now, what kind of captain would you be if you're wearing red and black, other than the infamous Black Bart, or otherwise known as Bartholomew Roberts?
You are correct.
He looks like the king of pirates.
This is indeed him. And he is another member of that group I mentioned before, the Neo-Argonauts. And he is great.
I like the hat addition in the second one. I'm not sure if I vibe with like the kind of like overcoat thing they're doing in the third one. I feel like that just overcomplicates it a little bit.
But I thought you didn't believe in overcomplicated outfits. I'm joking. I'm joking.
You can get me started on that, and I'll give a whole thing.
But yeah,
he's a good design.
Next
indeed. Okay, let's see here. All right, forgivable as far as like sexualized designs go. It's not bad. There's a little bow there. It's very minor skin showing there, and then got it robed up. Now, very blue, big staff. Looks a little bit like Saber, or the female Keen R5. I forget her name exactly.
Artoria.
Artoria. So my heart is saying this could be Morgan Le Fay, but in some weird twist of fashion, it could be Oberon, because Oberon's also a fairy character, and could be just gender bent Oberon.
Oh.
Which gives the conundrum. It's a 50-50 in my mind. It could be Arthur's big sister, or little sister. I forget what her relation was.
Big.
Or it could be Oberon. Big. 50-50 toss up. I'm going to say Morgan Le Fay.
It is indeed Morgan Le Fay.
Sheesh. Cool.
Probably one of the most popular servants to come out in a while. For many reasons.
I really mess with this design. I think the design is really solid. I think they do the like fan service angle of it really tasteful. Like, it's not anything that's like in your face and obvious, but it can be something you could appreciate. And then she just looks cool. I like the blue theme that she has going on, and that fourth heart, really nice fourth heart. I like the kind of mysticism of it. Very solid character design, I would say.
But yeah, she's very, very, very popular for a number of reasons. Among them being the fact that when summoned, she outright calls the character her spouse.
Oh, so one of those types. Oh, hey. For anyone who's into that, well, congratulations. This one's pretty good in my book.
Mm-hmm. Anyways, moving on.
Okay. Let's see. Foresty got big like kind of hood there, kind of like a collar. I don't know if I like the big collar. It just seems like it's impractical. I feel like he did like move left and get slapped by it.
I
Um,
will not tolerate any slander to this guy.
but he's very well put together. He's got the sword going. Um, let me see here who we have left. Um, could be Roland because Roland was a very prominent military leader. The Woods don't give much in terms of like what environment they are in. But the other one, it could be Galahad. Um, so I'm getting more Galahad vibes than I am getting Roland. So I'm gonna lock mine in at Galahad.
This is Charlemagne.
No way, it's Charlemagne. What are you talking about, it's Charlemagne?
This is Charlemagne as the adventuring noble knight that established the kingdom.
You know, he got me because he does not look kingly to me. Maybe that third one. If that third one would have been like, oh,
We actually have two Charlemagnes. The other is indeed what you would expect of like an imperial ruler.
Gotcha. I just got the hard one of the two.
Yeah. This is Charlie. People refer to one as like Charlemagne. This is Charlie, and he is great.
Hey Charlie, how you doing? I like his third image. I don't like his second image as much, the pure white kingliness, but I do like the third one. Gives a lot of like elegance and grandeur.
Yeah, the third one is supposed to be like melding because Charlemagne came out before FGO did, or not before FGO, but Charlemagne was out for a while in a separate game before he got added to FGO, and in that one you had both of the Charlies. You had the king and the adventurer, and they were actually on opposite sides. But but the third one is supposed to be mixing him and the adventurer and the king together, because you have the golden armor is what the
other side has.
Yeah.
Got it. Oh, that's a neat little kind of crossover there. I like how he just handing you an orange, and the fourth one's like, hey, have an orange.
Yep. Any hoodle? You okay?
No. On the one hand, yes. On the other hand, no. Because I was looking forward to this because I was just like, prior to like the video, Pierre over here was like, oh, you'll love it because that's Don Quixote. I'm a very big Don Quixote fan. Sheesh, my own mother even says like I look like him whenever I get like my facial hair grown out and everything. So I'm like, yeah, I'm my man. Are they gonna do him justice? And I hate to say, but they actually kind of do him justice. I like him. I like Don Quixote because he is meant to be like this very crazy old man who decided just to be a knight for no other reason than he's just rich and bored. So I like this kind of like, oh, this dude who thinks he's larger than life is really short and he has very puffy hair. I wish he had his flatter hat here. I don't like his like conquistador type hat. I wish he had that kind of like flatter dome hat thing that was more his style. But I like the rest of his look because he's like fat and kind of armored up and big spear. Like he's in his mind he's so big, but in reality he's such a small, weird, and crazy dude. Now the thing that pisses me off, the thing that is getting me like, who the heck is that? Is the pink person, because that could be two people. That could be his donkey, who is like lame and almost out of breath and like old, and they just made the donkey this like dainty girl look. Like the design is great too, which is also what's pissing me off. I love the design there because like the big donkey ears and
okay, I'm just gonna skip ahead.
Oh, hold on.
All the art.
Don't tell. Is Don Quixote like romancing the horse?
Okay.
Because otherwise
Okay.
it could be like
Let
Sancho
me
stuff.
explain what the deal is with the second character. So, Don Quixote, as a novel, part of the whole thing is that everything is a fantasy, right?
Sure.
Nobody has any, like, even Don Quixote himself doesn't really have much ability, but nobody else has, like, any ability either, right? So, what they
Sure.
did is, that girl is all of the side characters that were from the Don Quixote legend put into one person. It is the
No.
horse. It is Sancho. It is Dulcinea.
No. No. You put together the
It is
amalgamation of all
all
the
of
Don
the
Quixote.
others.
Oh yeah. And incidentally, all the others whose lives are like irreparably messed up or otherwise inconvenienced by Don Quixote are like his pink hair waifu or
Well,
whatever.
actually, here's the
Um,
thing: is Don Quixote can't actually tell what the heck is going on with Sancho because
so
yeah,
he's just constantly
sometimes
confused.
at some time because of the delusion thing, sometimes it's Sancho, or other times it's it's Rosciante, or it's Dulcinea.
Hmm.
So in his own mind, he
It's
can't.
just whatever's convenient for him at the moment.
Yes. And
I
so
see.
then I also really like the art with like the whole thing of like you start out with him being like the like noble golden like armor and all that stuff, and then you have the side character being like the reality of the situation. But then as he
Mhm.
like, but then it like shifts to where he's enduring the reality, and the side characters are the fantasy.
Mm. I do. It is a good depiction of like the evolution of like reality on being unmade with in regards to like Don Quixote's like mental state. But
Mhm.
it's just also just like I didn't expect this direction. I was just
Yeah,
like Don Quixote himself. I mean, that's a good depiction. It's just the pink hair,
yeah.
the pink hair amalgamation. Uh, I feel like all the side characters are in that pink hair character and being like, "Let me out! Let me out!"
Well, they're all like mentally combined as well. So,
God, that sounds almost nightmarish.
but like the sort of Sancho Dulcinea mix are kind of what comes out the strongest there.
I see. I see.
And also, yeah, he honestly plays a really great role in the story bit that he shows up in, where he ends up like, because he initially shows up, or we initially hear about him as he was somebody who ran away from he appeared and then ran away during what was essentially Fate's equivalent to D-Day, where they tried to storm at Olympus, where a bunch of servants
Sure.
were summoned to try and storm Atlantis, and he was like, no. And he like regretted it ever since because he was turning away from like his fantasy of like being a
Yeah, his
genuine
true
hero.
identity.
So then he started running around this other place and pretending slash being pure. And then he like ends up like coming to reality with like, this is what I've got to do, and ends up being a hero by using his ability, which is dispelling fantasies, dispelling like magic as an existence, including himself, to destroy the really messed up situation that everyone was stuck in, that they were all stuck in.
I feel like that is kind of on brand from. Okay. Okay. Now, this one is interesting. Because on one hand, I'd be like, weird outfit design. But on the other hand, and this might be controversial, but this is just me. She gives very like butch lesbian vibe to me. Um, but I'm not sure if I vibe with like the arm wheel thing sleeve that they got going on.
Mhm.
I think this is one of those instances where like if her arm was just like another arm rather than like kind of that embellishment, it'd be good. Also, those pants are too dang big for her.
Mhm.
Get you fitted. Big staff, kind of like big staff and columns, but I don't think those are Roman enough to be Roman columns.
This is one I'm not expecting you to get unless you like pull all of your knowledge of everything we've ever talked about with Fate together.
Oh, this is
Or
the true
not
test.
all of them, but like there's specific things that we have talked about before that would make this easier, but I'm not sure if you remember them or not.
Let's see. Could be Galatea because she looks like she would be sculpted. It's kind of in like a sculptor's area, but perhaps not because this has to be something a little bit more. This is the wheel. The wheel is the key here. Her hands are wheeled for some reason. What would the reason be? It could be Oberon in some weird sense, but I'm not sure if they would do this to Oberon. God, this one is a hard one. Could be Constantine too. I don't think there's enough like paleontology for it to be Mary Anning.
Okay.
So it's either Constantine or Galatea. But again, the doubt creeps in my mind. Something about this isn't right. But wait a minute. It could be that her clothes are the column and her body that's like a body that you can recognize could be the sculpted body of the. I'm overthinking this. I'm over here being like it could be the sculpted body of the stone that she was in before she was sculpted by that painter. It could be Galatea, but I feel like that's overthinking it. And if I know anything about fate, is that as crazy as it is, some things are purely simple. Nothing here that's indicating paleontology. It could be Constantine. It could be Constantine because it's a crumbling empire. Everything's coming around. He's the last empire and the last. Oh, God.
The last ruler of the Byzantine Empire.
Yeah, the last ruler of the Byzantine Empire. Everything's falling apart. It's either Galatea or Constantine. I've now insane conspiracy rationalized both ends, and I think Constantine makes more sense.
It is Galatea.
No, I had it.
Okay, so the little bit that you were missing that would have helped cement you is, I don't know if you remember this, we talked about it before, but in Fate, the Greek gods, they're alien colonizing Mecca, remember?
Oh, I forgot about the alien colonizing bit. Like, to me, it's so bizarre.
Yeah. And so you have her as part of the statue still, and then the free form of her.
God, I should have known. I should have saw that wheel and be like, it's a bit too sci-fi for maybe like an emperor. I had it. I was there. It was
you
like
were there.
My tongue.
You were there.
It was a coin flip, and I almost said Galatea because it's like in my mind, it's like it's genius. She's like halfway carved out, and the rest of her is still stone. But I was like, no way, it's not that complex.
No, it was. That was Galatea.
That's funny.
Most people forget that this one exists because she never was really that popular, and she hasn't had like a single story bit.
Hold on, I was so focused about being like narrowly missing it that I forgot to like review like the alts, and I gotta say, what the heck?
Sci-fi mecha waifu.
They took all their clothes. What?
Sci-fi mecha waifu.
Man, hey, Galatea, do you want to put on another layer? Yeah, I got another piece of floss. Like,
also Aphrodite.
Aphrodite, I suppose that's also true. God, I mean, this is just. I like her fourth skin because that gives more of that kind of wonder and sci-fi, and I think I like her like base design because as much as it kind of look goofy, I like the oversized pants and like sleeve more than I like this kind of like weird nudity thing they got going. Like at that point, just don't wear any pants. Like, what are you covering?
Laws, legality.
Yeah, well, no. If Fate was allowed to, some of these designs would get filthy. Some of these designs would just be like.
I mean, I'll have to show you a couple things later. Fate Extra CCC got wild.
God.
And then they had to tone it down for everything else because they knew that there was no way they'd be allowed to do it anywhere else.
The fate artists, we have this one chance to really express it, and then we have to return to
Specifically
censorship.
Wada Arco, because that woman is a mad woman who cannot be stopped.
God, at this point, what is even going on in Fate?
Next.
This one, I recognize her. I don't know who she is, but I recognize her. The people on Tumblr are crazy about it.
I'll give you a hit. This is a guy.
They're crazy about him. Very moth-esque. I think that's what draws in. There's a lot of moth imagery here. I like the coat. I like the big boots, the lace-up boots. The kind of like smug smile gives me like little bastard energy. But who would be comfy drip like this? This is who could this be? Maybe Oberon, because it gives a little bit more of like a fantastical story, kind of like, yo, Oberon. There's a little bit of kind of like yeah, I cursed my wife, and then felt bad about it and cursed her later. Can't be any of these other ones. Could be Constantine. I keep saying Constantine on these things, though. This one. It was Percival, now Constantine. I think this is Oberon. If this is Constantine, I'm gonna eat my own shoe.
This is Oberon, yes.
Oh, thank God.
And here's the thing: Oberon was the singular most popular character of 2022.
Really? What drew everybody in?
The design.
Okay.
And the massive role that he plays, along with the spoiler twist of the massive role that he plays in Lostbelt 6, which was a big release. But to give you an idea of how popular this guy is, during 2022, we had 3 of the most popular Fate waifus of all time come out. One of them calls the character their wife or husband. One of them calls the player character their lover. The third calls them their mate. Oberon beat all 3 of them hands down in the request for most desired Valentine's scene.
That's funny.
Oberon has over twice the fan art. I don't know if it's over twice. Oberon has an overwhelmingly large number of fan art compared to Morgan, who outright calls the player their spouse and is one of the singular most popular female characters to come out in a long time.
Bro, you love to see a short king flourish. Like, sheesh. And no wonder he looks so smug. He's just like, yeah, you guys who are designed to be like Valentine bait. Nah, you got nothing on me. I am the one. I remain.
Yeah, Oberon, his design alone was so good. Nasu, the writer of Fate, liked it so much that he completely rewrote Lostbelt 6 to make it work, to include him and give him a more prominent role.
God, that's a lot of pull. That's a lot of drips that he's trying to pull. No wonder the people on Tumblr are crazy about him.
Yeah, he is genuinely the most frighteningly popular character in forever.
Sheesh. Okay. I see some of the appeal, but I mean, dang.
You'd have had to see the story for the rest of it, but yeah, people love him.
All right.
People are crazy for their bug man.
I will say his 4th image does give like very like the character has found like an untold depth throughout the experience of the story, and now you view him differently type vibes.
Oh yeah, no, he's a right bastard. Anyways, moving on.
Is it crazy that when you first showed this, I thought it was like a Pacru?
The person who does this, the person who did her art has a very distinctive art style.
Very much is distinctive. All right, let's see. Kind of got horns and a flat top hat on the seaside. Very kind of like, over it. Who could it be? This is a real question. Um, this is a unique situation where everybody on the list seems more impressive than what I think the character would be. So
Hmm.
it's not Galahad, it's not Ares, not Oberon, it's not the red hair. Could it be Sakamoto Ryoma? But I figure a samurai like that wouldn't be so
I'll
like.
tell you, all the hints you need are right here in this image, if you look hard enough.
There's a dog near the sea, kind of cold and kind of overcast. So it could be no, but maybe. Oh, wait a minute. This could be Mary Anning. This is the only one I can think of that would make sense here. This looks like somebody who's out doing field work, has a dog companion. I forget where her main excavation sites were. But maybe it isn't. I'm stumped. Like I'm looking at through the characters, and the only one that's giving me any indication is Mary Anning, and I'm not even confident on that one. I guess I'll say that one because I don't know.
It
Mary
is,
Anning?
in fact, Mary Anning. If you look at
Oh.
the bag on her hip, if you look right behind it, there's like this. There's a standout bit of like a little pick,
Oh man, that blends in the eye.
and
That's
then
very
the
smooth.
horn. Those aren't horns. Those are like it's supposed to be like nautilus shells.
Oh, I thought she was just a sheep girl. I was like, yeah, sheep girls were
Nope.
in for a time. I like her second image, no, third image a lot. It's just like, yeah, and during the day, I'm just a normal girl. But at night, I get drift out with all my sea friends. Sheesh.
All the dinosaurs.
All the dinosaurs, they're partying. One's partying too hard back there. He's kind of strangling his friend. Gotta get him on some water. He's gonna wake up with a hangover tomorrow.
Also canonical lesbian.
Really?
Yes.
Sheesh. Wait, what was Mary Anning a lesbian in real life, or is it
I
just kind
think
of like?
it's. I think people. I don't know if it was confirmed, but it's strongly believed at the very least.
Oh, okay, okay. All right. Well, heck yeah. We love representation, I suppose. Um, this one's just fun. I like this one. I like the dog. I like how the dog turns into like a loaf of bread in the third one for whatever reason. It's like,
Yep.
yeah, he's just loafing.
Yep. Okay, moving on. This is the last one, by the way.
Okay, I know who this is because it's obvious, but like also, if you had shown this earlier, I may have said Chiron because
I
I was
know.
like, oh, that's 100%
This
Chiron.
wasn't chosen to deceive you. This was just chosen to let you see.
This actually tracks though because, like I said, Fate is like a Japanese company. They really know more like Asian myths a lot more, and I think there's probably a very prominent Fate community over there. So anybody who looks at this and be like the red hair, absolutely, they'll recognize it like in an instant. And to be fair, this is a really like furry bait, handsome looking centaur. Like this is just like, sheesh.
This is indeed red hair.
God, I like the third one. This design actually goes hard. I love I love like the kind of like, okay, he's kind of cool, got the flowing hair, then sets himself on fire, and it's just like there's a lot of power in this. It does give like most famous Chinese horse
Yes.
belonging to a
So the
warlord.
funny thing about Chinese about red hair in Fate
Mm-hmm.
is that he doesn't think he's red hair. He thinks
Like, what do you mean?
he's Lu Bu, his master.
It's just like, yeah, who that loses that rides on me. I don't know who that is. I'm the real I'm the real guy.
Well, he and
Sheesh.
Lu Bu have never showed up in the same place before, but
Oh, so he's just legitimately is like, I've never seen
I'm
him. I don't
I
think
am
he's.
Lu Bu.
That's funny. I like the design actually. It gives very well put together. I like the armor upgrades. I like the fire, and that final design is really powerful. I like the ripple. The person who drew this really knows their muscles. Um, overall solid design. I can't fault it. It is 100% great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, my part of my goal for this one is to just show you a much wider variety of Fate designs.
I do appreciate it. There was a lot more intrigue in these designs, a lot more thought out. I think my favorite like thought process I had was the Galatea one, because like it made sense as I've said it more and more, and I got excited. But I psyched myself out with the
Constantine. It was really funny that you kept on latching to Constantine, even though I didn't have him anywhere in here.
That's what those false leads are for. I mean, I get so fixated sometimes because I'm thinking it has to be, but then no.
Yeah, maybe Constantine will be the new Gawain of this channel.
Well, we'll see. I don't know what takes off in these videos whenever
we'll see.
Release.
But yeah, thanks for always, and remember, everybody, like, subscribe, comment, tell me if you want more, because I mean we can do more. And bye bye.
See you.